Now, before I begin, I would like for all of you just to close your eyes and envision what you think a life of purpose means to you. All right. Okay, now open your eyes. Now, I may not have the same type of ideas as many of you, and I also realize I have only acquired 13 years of experience on this earth. But I have developed my own opinion. And to me, a life is only made purposeful once you have changed someone else's life for the better. Now, I lead a fairly normal life. I go to school, I like sports, and I like hanging out with my friends. But I've been on multiple adventures that have opened my eyes and molded me into the person that I am today. When I was in the 3rd grade, I had an amazing opportunity to travel to Ghana in West Africa with my family and 3 high school students from my former school. My gunny was in Ghana at the time, working towards empowering the women of Atoko. Atoko is a small fishing village in need. The main source of income for families there is net fishing. The men go out each and every day and place large fishing nets into the ocean. At the end of the day, they haul in mostly empty nets. But the problem is, you can see the large international fishing boats farther out, removing all the fish. So my gunny wanted to help the women, give the women skills so that they could make their own goods to sell at the marketplace. This was to get themselves their own money so that they could sustain their families. She made it possible for us to go and live in the village where she was living. We lived in a house right in the village for 3 weeks, and in that time, we built a classroom block, organized a school library, and set up water filtration units in each of the school classrooms. But it wasn't necessarily carrying the bricks or learning the Dewey Decimal System that held the true purpose for me. It was meeting the people and making friends. The compassion that they showed towards me and our group of strangers was life-changing for me. They invited me and my brother into games in the courtyard and even let me take part in an official soccer match with the local soccer club. One boy that I befriended named Wisdom remains my friend to this day. We continue to write letters to each other and follow up on one another's lives. Wisdom loves soccer. It is his passion, and he is very good at it. But unfortunately, despite being the captain of his team, his father made him stop playing in order to take extra classes at school. This was to get his grades high enough to be awarded a scholarship, which he needed to pay for his education. Wisdom is the one holding his baby sister in the middle. This made me sad, and I wanted to help. I asked my parents if we could help sponsor his education by paying for his school fees. This way, he could go to school and follow his passion at the same time. Because of the compassion and kindness that Wisdom and his friends showed me, I felt that I wanted to return that compassion that started our friendship. But the thing is, you don't need to go on a cool trip to make a difference. I get a lot of satisfaction from just volunteering at the Humane Society every Saturday. I'm actually due for that in about 2 hours. Or just being a good friend. At my last school, there was one kid who was bugged and teased for just having an advanced vocabulary and a vast knowledge of random things. To me, he was a super genius. But unfortunately, he was not always given a fair chance with some of his peers. But I would know, firsthand, he was one of the kindest, coolest kids in the entire school. Because I took the time to get to know him. We became great friends. You see, these are the things that give my life purpose. This year in school, I had the opportunity to learn a lot more about service and leadership. Recently, in social studies class, I had the opportunity to learn about an organization called Kiva. Kiva encourages people to make small loans to individuals in developing countries. The money is used to start up a business or small farm. The money is then returned once the business begins to make a profit and can be reinvested to another individual. It follows the philosophy: give a person a fish and they will eat for a day. Teach a person to fish and they will eat for a lifetime. And even this past March, I joined my classmates on a MetoWe trip to Arizona. We learned about sustainable farming, eco-friendly practices, border relations, and survival skills. It was an amazing trip. But aside from the knowledge and skills that I learned out in the desert, the organizers made us develop an action plan so that we could apply our learning. I've been thinking a lot about my action plan and how it might help to make someone else's life better. After learning all of this knowledge from my past trips and experiences, I have put together an action plan to help further others' lives and make their lives and my life full of purpose. I have decided to organize a sports tournament to fundraise for an organization like MetoWe, which takes children out of child labor and empowers them with a proper education. It makes me feel just great to know that I have made someone else's life better. All of the trips and experiences I have shared with you today have also made my life better. I have been very lucky to have these experiences, and I realize that. But it comes down to more than just a cool trip or a good learning opportunity. It comes down to taking action. And I encourage each and every one of you to take action in your own way to make your lives purposeful. Thank you.